In Ballina town, not that long ago, lived a witch and her cat, whom she named Mr. Poe. They lived in a house with a black crooked door and a mat for her cat inside on the floor. Nobody knew anything about this witch until one night she was out and lost her hat in a ditch. A young boy named Connor was running home in a rush when he fell and saw the hat caught up in a bush. Strange hat, he thought, to find in a ditch. Little did he know it belonged to a witch. The witch hadn't missed her hat that night. It was when she went looking for it that she got a fright. It wasn't on her hat stand, just inside the door. That was definitely the last place she had seen it before. What would she do? It was Halloween night. She needed her hat to give children a fright. She hopped on her broom and waited till dark, then flew over the moy and found somewhere to park. As a small little mouse in his house soundly slept, up the dark laneway the witch quietly crept in case anyone saw her. She didn't want that. She wasn't so scary without her witch's hat. She hurried down Hill Street as sharp as a laser and passed by the wall that was painted by Mazer. A car screeched its brakes and she jumped in the air. She really missed that hat that she'd normally wear. How dare they scare me with all of that din? I'm a witch. I even have a big chin and a wart on my nose and black boots on my feet, and I'll scare the daylights out of anyone I'll meet. Meanwhile, Connor, the boy with her hat, dressed in his costume, was leaving his flat. He decided to bring the big hat along with him, in case his mother would throw it in the bin. He headed off with his friends to go trick or treating, to find sweeties and crisps that they'd spend the night eating. Off they ran down the street. The hat might come in handy to fill to the brim with lots of nice candy. The witch searched high and low for her pointy black hat. Down laneways, in bins, underneath an odd mat. As she passes the Clarke Museum, what does she see? Only 3 small witches playing under a tree. The bandstand is filling with vampires and mummies. Little ghosts run around with sweets in their tummies. What is all this? Thought the witch looking down. Why are these scary people coming into town? But the witch had forgotten it was Halloween night. They were children dressed up in search of a fright. Right, thought the witch, only one thing to do. I'll head into Penny's and I'll join the queue. Grab a new hat as I pass the display and hope nobody notices as I wait to pay. Connor and his mates ran through the town, into the Clarke garden, and then Connor ran down the side of the building where the witch had just noticed that her lace was undone. It was all in a twist. So over she bent to undo her shoe problem, when a very fast Connor ran into her bottom. "Ah!" screamed the witch as she jumped up in horror. This frightened the life out of poor little Connor, who was wearing a very scary mask, you see. So the witch got an equally big fright as he. Then, spotting the familiar hat in his hand, the witch jumped right up and took a stand. "My hat," she exclaimed with a smile on her face. Connor lay on the ground, confused in a daze. "Where did you find it, my boy? Aren't you great? And it's full of sweeties. This must have been fate." "Licorice, all sorts, my favourite," she said. Connor now wished he was home in his bed. "Run along now, young chap, and don't lose your friends. I have work to do flying my broom around bends." And then, in a puff of white smoke, she was gone. "A real witch," gasped Connor. "What on earth's going on?" As his friends caught up from behind, they could see poor Connor in a state of shock, down on one knee. "I just met a witch," he cried in despair. "She took all my sweets and then vanished into thin air." "Yeah, right," slagged his friend. "I just met a vampire, and I bumped into a mummy whose breath was just dire." "Not funny," said Connor, whose brow was quite beaten, when his friend said, "Let's go, all the treats'll be eaten." So, children, on this Halloween night, be wary. You never know where you might meet someone scary. Just make sure your pockets are lined with treats to keep away any witches on Ballina's streets.